Hi, this is Trevor Conquergood with Quilters Select and RNK Distributing. And one of my very favorite things to do with our Design and Quilt software is to audition fabric in the quilt blocks for our Design and Stitch Block of the Week program. So for everybody that's doing the Block of the Week, this video's for you. And I thought what we could do is make my workspace nice and big, and I would show you how I add the fabric to the block, and not only that, how to add your own fabrics to your library. And so to get started, the first thing I did was I actually went on the web page for the Design and Stitch, design of the block of the week. These are all the past blocks of the weeks where you can, of course, get for each week the PDF instructions and then the WAV file, and you just click right here to download the WAV file into your, it'll go to your downloads folder. Now, what I'm also going to do is pop back over into the software and just show you that I have a tool group up at the top. The purple tool group is kind of your block tools. And if I use the piece select tool, it's very easy to select, any piece of your block. And down at the bottom, there are solid colors. I could click to use solid colors. I also have a pop-up palette that's in the bottom on the left. And in the pop-up palette, you have the option of working with your solid color palette, working with the fabric color palette, or creating your own custom RGB colors. For today, I think we're going to talk about fabrics. And so you'll notice that if I select this, red shape, and I click on the rainbow fabric of polka dots, it will show you what they would look like in your piece. Now, the one thing I will say is I usually like to nudge my block over kind of to the right a little bit. I might make it smaller or bigger if that helps me as well, but just so that I can kind of get it, so that I can see what I'm doing when I'm working with my fabrics. Now, when you're selecting fabric, so yes, I can click on a fabric to select it, but I can also click on a fabric and then right click. And now I have the option to choose the same fabric within the block by color and shape, or by color or by shape. So if I say by color, it'll get all the rest of the white pieces and I can make them all that same kind of polka dot color. And then if you think that just looks horrible, now if I right click, I can do same in block by color and it'll get all of the pieces. And you could click to try different, fabric colorways from the built-in fabrics. Now, there's not a lot of choices in the built-in fabric because we really would like you to create your own fabric library. And it's very easy to do to get started. What I'll do is I'm just going to click on the word fabric and then right click to create a new folder. And we'll call it summer. Summer's almost here. And so once I create a new folder name and click on it, you'll see that there's obviously no fabric in there yet. But to add it, you just simply click on the button for add. Now, before we add some fabric, we should learn how to collect fabric that could be added. And for today's video, I thought we would look at the Moda website. So I brought up the website for Moda Fabrics. And of course, I think most fabric collections have an option like this. And I promise to make a follow-up video on how to take photos of your own fabric and then put those into the collection. But for today, on Moda, there's a button, or I guess a menu that says inspiration plus resources. And I found under there was a place called fabric downloads. Well, that's perfect because that's exactly what we want. Now here, if I click on the name Sunday Brunch, I can see the collection. But if I come over to the right and I click on where it says JPEG images, it will download the entire collection all at one time. And see, it just quickly downloads into my downloads area. If you really just wanted to see the fabrics or choose one and you clicked on that fabric, notice from within here that all I have to do is click on a fabric image to see a larger image of it, and even click again to see an even larger image of it. And at any point, you can right click on an image to choose to save that image. And so I will choose to save that image. And again, I'm just going to put it into my downloads folder so I know kind of where to find it and click save. So you can put it anywhere you want. I could have browsed it to any folder, but now that I know where it is, if I come back to our collection here, and if I click on the word summer and I click add, now it browses around my computer. And of course, I'm going to look in my downloads folder, and there is a JPEG image right there that I can click open, and it adds it instantly into the program. So now I could color with it, but before I do, I think what I'll do is I'll select it and click on the edit button, because it allows me to see the image. And the first thing I want to know is the size correct? And it's convenient that the image has a ruler so that we can actually know that it's supposed to be 7 inches, but it says up here that it's 8.3. So if we change that to say 7 and click apply, notice that the size of the image is updated. We can do other things in here, such as correct the horizon if you wanted to rotate, or correct the scale kind of visually. We could also crop just with these blue handles and kind of get rid of that ruler. So now if I click apply, it'll make an image that is 7 inches, and I say okay. So now if I click on, for example, a piece of our quilt, and I click on this fabric, it will display that fabric in our quilt. And then you can click on any piece of fabric, any piece, and click on that fabric to display it. Now, if you want to add all of those fabrics, because we downloaded them as a collection, we're going to need to use like our Windows Explorer to view the folder. And you're going to notice that in your downloads folder, there is the JPEGs for Sunday brunch, but it's in a zip file. So we simply need to click it and then choose the option for extract all, which will allow us to choose where we want to save it to. And I'm going to just allow it to stay in the downloads folder and say extract. Of course, you could keep these in any place on your computer, but the truth is, once you've actually added them into the program, you can delete all the stuff in your downloads folder, because they'll go, where they need to be. But so now we have that all done, and notice that the images are all in a folder here. It looks like some of the images are like pictures of the packages and stuff, but there's also fabric images in here. But I noticed a folder that says ruler, and if I open that up, it's a copy of all the images with the ruler. And so that's perfect, because if we have the ruler, then we can be sure that we get the size correct. And so all the images I need are there, and I can simply close my Windows Explorer folder and really just go back to the Design N Quilt software. And when I'm, I could make a new folder for this, or I could add it to our summer folder to select summer, click add. And this time when I look at my downloads, notice that there's a folder that says JPEG Sunday Brunch. So we go ahead and open that. Now there's a folder that says ruler. I'm going to open that. And now all the images, I'm going to select the first one. I'm just going to scroll down and hold shift and select the last one and say open. And that's it. We've added, an entire library of fabric into the program. Of course, they all have the ruler now. And so I might want to take the time to select these fabrics and click on the edit option and just come in and set their size to the correct size, and crop out the ruler and click apply. And okay, so it doesn't take long, and you can have all of your fabrics. And so then, of course, you're able to now use your piece select tool to select and color in with your new fabrics. So I hope that you enjoyed this week's video, and we hope that you're enjoying all of the blocks in the Design and Stitch program. I'm sure that you would love to learn more about the Design and Quilt software. And I want to point out that if you visit the website rnksoftware.club. First of all, this is where you can download the Design and Quilt software if you haven't already downloaded it and installed it with that button right there. But I wanted to point out that there are wonderful training videos here, and they're in different categories. So for example, if you really want to learn about using the color palette, you would click here, and now you have a small playlist of 4 or 5 videos that will give you different topics about using the color palette. So more resources to learn about this wonderful program. And perhaps if I just go back up to the top and point out one more thing. So we'll click on the home button. And once again, just visit these are all of the softwares that, are made by R&K Distributing, but it's Design N Quilt that I want to take you back to. And finally, I just wanted to point out that there's a wonderful quick start guide that you can go through. And this is like a PDF that has lessons. And you'll notice that there are also videos that match these lessons within the quick start guide. So when you go into your training videos, the getting started video playlist actually go along with that little printed booklet. So once again, I hope you enjoyed this week's video and look forward to more videos about the Design N Quilt software for people doing the Design and Stitch block of the week. Until then, have a great day and bye for now.